Have you ever wondered what it would be like to walk into a room and have everyone instantly drawn to you? What if you could effortlessly capture the attention of anyone you meet, leaving a lasting impression and making them think about you long after you've walked away? What if you could become someone people are eager to connect with, to be around, to be close to, without even trying? It's not magic, it's not coincidence, it's psychological science, an understanding of the human mind and how to tap into the psychological triggers that make people obsessed with you. Now let me be clear, I'm not talking about manipulation or deceit, I'm talking about influence, the ability to connect deeply with people on a level that makes them genuinely care about you, respect you, and be eager to keep you in their lives. This is not about tricking anyone into liking you, it's about understanding the subtle dynamics that make human connections so powerful. What if I told you that these triggers, these psychological tools are something you can learn, something you can apply every single day to not only make people obsessed with you, but to build deeper, more meaningful connections that stand the test of time? Imagine the possibilities. Whether it's in business, relationships, or even in your personal life, mastering these principles will not only make you magnetic to others, but will also make you a force to be reckoned with. Today, I want to share with you 3 key psychological triggers that will make anyone obsess over you. These principles, when applied with authenticity and integrity, will help you create powerful connections, leave lasting impressions, and have a magnetic presence wherever you go. So let's dive into how to make this happen. Have you ever met someone who was so intriguing, so mysterious that you couldn't help but be drawn to them? Maybe it wasn't their appearance or the things they said, but rather their ability to keep you wondering. What are they thinking? What do they really want? Who are they really? This is the power of mystery. Psychologically, we are wired to crave answers. The brain doesn't like uncertainty. We naturally seek patterns, and when something or someone doesn't fit neatly into our expectations, it leaves us intrigued. The more curious we are about a person, the more we want to know about them. And this is a key element in making someone obsess over you. Now, I'm not saying you should be aloof or distant, playing hard to get for the sake of games. It's about creating a sense of controlled intrigue, allowing people to see just enough of you to spark their curiosity, but never giving them the full picture too soon. Think of it as revealing little bits of yourself slowly, like peeling back layers of an onion so they are constantly wanting to know more. I've seen this principle in action in my own life. I remember years ago meeting a person who had this magnetic energy about them. They weren't the loudest in the room and they didn't dominate conversations with stories or boats, but there was something about the way they spoke, how they hinted at things, how they gave just enough information to make you curious. At times they would speak about their passions but leave certain details unsaid, as if they wanted you to ask. And when you were with them, you were always engaged, always wanting to know what they were really thinking or feeling. You didn't know everything about them. This mystery doesn't have to be about hiding who you are. It's about being strategic in how you present yourself. Let them see just enough of your strengths, your charm, and your personality so they're drawn to you, but not enough to feel like they've got you figured out. Leave them wondering. Make them ask themselves, why does this person intrigue me? Here's a truth that you might find uncomfortable, but undeniably powerful. People value what they can't have. Scarcity is one of the most powerful psychological triggers in existence. We see it every day, whether it's in marketing, limited time offers, exclusive sales, or in relationships, where the very idea of losing something makes us appreciate it more. When we believe something is in limited supply, our desire for it intensifies. Think about how often we've been drawn to something simply because it was scarce, whether it was a job, an opportunity, or a person. This is why high-value people, whether they're at the top of their profession or deeply admired by others, are often less available, less accessible, and more careful with how they allocate their time and energy. But here's the thing, scarcity isn't about playing games with people, it's about managing your availability and showing your value. If you make yourself too available to others, they may start to take you for granted. But when you balance your presence with periods of absence, you create a sense of longing. People want what they can't always have, and by stepping back occasionally, you make them realize how important you are to them. I remember a time when I was working with a client who had an incredible ability to evoke this scarcity effect. She was a brilliant professional, but she didn't flood her calendar with back-to-back meetings or give her time away freely. Instead, she was strategic with her availability, only offering time slots to those who were truly serious about working with her. As a result, her reputation as someone who didn't waste time became an asset. People became eager to book her, to seek her advice, to be in her presence because they knew her time was valuable. They began to obsess over the opportunity to connect with her, making sure they didn't miss out. The key here was her scarcity, not in an arrogant way, but in a way that reinforced her worth and made others truly value her presence. The same principle can be applied to relationships. If you are always available to someone, answering their calls immediately, always texting back right away, you may inadvertently give the impression that your time isn't valuable. But when you step back a little, create space, and give them room to miss you, they'll begin to realize scarcity isn't about playing games. It's about knowing your worth and understanding that your time, energy, and attention are not infinite. The more you respect your own value, the more others will begin to value you too. Now let's talk about one of the most powerful triggers that exists in human relationships, the power of emotional connection. People crave emotional connection. At our core, we are social creatures who seek belonging, understanding, and empathy. The deeper the emotional connection, the stronger the bond. And here's the key. When someone feels truly understood by you, they begin to obsess over you. Think back to a time when someone truly listened to you, when they made you feel like you were the most important person in the room. They didn't just hear your words, they felt your emotions, they empathized with your experiences, and they validated your feelings. How did that make you feel? You were drawn to them, weren't you? You wanted to be around them more because they made you feel seen and heard in a way that no one else could. Now think about how often we rush through conversations, barely paying attention to what the other person is saying. We wait for our turn to speak. We wait for our chance to express ourselves, but we don't take the time to truly understand. But when you make an effort to truly listen, when you lean into someone's words with empathy, you create a bond that's hard to break. This is how high-value individuals form powerful connections. They know the art of making others feel understood. They ask meaningful questions, listen attentively, and show genuine interest in the other person's thoughts and emotions. And in doing so, they build a trust that keeps others coming back. The more you understand and empathize with someone, the deeper the emotional connection you form. And when someone feels that connection, they begin to obsess over you, wanting to be in your presence, to feel that sense of being seen again. When you combine the power of mystery, scarcity, and emotional connection, you create a dynamic that not only draws people to you, but keeps them coming back. The mystery keeps them curious. The scarcity keeps them wanting more, and the emotional connection creates the deep bond that forms the foundation of a lasting relationship. You may be wondering, how can I use these triggers in my own life? How can I tap into these psychological tools to create stronger relationships, to become magnetic, to have people obsess over me in a healthy, empowering way? The answer lies in understanding that these tools are not about manipulation or control. They are about building authentic, meaningful connections with others, connections that are based on trust, respect, and mutual admiration. When you use these principles with integrity and authenticity, you will not only make others obsess over you, but also create the kind of connections that elevate your life and your journey. So, as you move forward from this moment, I challenge you to put these principles into practice. Recognize when you're being pulled into the games of others and choose instead to create your own reality. Use the power of mystery to intrigue, the power of scarcity to elevate your value, and the power of emotional connection to forge lasting bonds. And remember, the greatest magnetism comes not from what you do to others, but from who you are at your core, confident, grounded, and true to yourself. Now go out there and make them obsess over you, not because you need them, but because your authenticity, your emotional intelligence, and your magnetic energy will make them want to be around you. Because once you understand the psychological triggers at play, you won't need to chase anyone. They will come to you drawn by the force of your energy and the power of your presence. There are moments in life where we're faced with the most powerful realization that influence, attraction, and connection aren't about force. They're about subtlety, strategy, and self-awareness. The most magnetic people don't have to try. They simply are. Their presence commands attention. Their energy captivates, and others naturally find themselves drawn to them. But how do you become that person? How do you become someone others obsess over, not in a manipulative way, but because they are authentically magnetized to your presence? It's not a mere coincidence. It's the result of understanding human psychology, mastering the art of connection, and developing a presence so powerful that it leaves an impression long after you've left the room. These psychological triggers, when used with sincerity and authenticity, have the potential to create bonds that transcend superficial relationships. They leave a lasting impact on everyone you encounter and make you unforgettable in the best way possible. As we delve deeper into this idea, we must understand that influence is not just a set of tricks or techniques to get what you want from others. It's not about manipulating people to serve your agenda. It's about understanding human nature, offering something truly valuable, and connecting with others on a level that makes them feel seen, heard, and appreciated. Think about the most compelling people you've met in your life. They weren't necessarily the loudest, the most attractive, or the most successful, but there was something about them that made you want to be around them. They made you feel important. They made you feel comfortable in your own skin, and they gave you the space to be yourself. They were magnetic not because they put on an act, but because they were truly themselves and they knew how to navigate the unspoken rules of human connection. To become magnetic, you need to start by understanding your own power. People can sense your energy, they can feel your emotional state, your confidence, your authenticity, and your intentions long before you say a word. Your body language, your tone of voice, your presence, these are all cues that others pick up on before anything else. If you walk into a room unsure of yourself, if you carry the weight of insecurity or self-doubt, others will pick up on that energy and it will impact the way they perceive you. But if you walk in with your head held high, if you project self-assurance without arrogance, people will feel that too. Your energy will radiate and they won't be able to look away. But here's where the magic lies. It's not about being perfect. It's about being authentically you. When you are comfortable in your own skin, others can't help but be drawn to your confidence, your individuality, and your uniqueness. That's why understanding the psychological triggers that make people obsess over you isn't about changing who you are. It's about enhancing the natural qualities you already possess. You've likely heard of the idea that energy doesn't lie. And this is precisely why people are often attracted to you without you having to do anything at all. The energy you bring to the table communicates far more than words ever could. Think about the people in your life who you've been naturally drawn to. What was it about them that made them so magnetic? Was it their success, their material possessions, or was it something deeper, their ability to connect, to make you feel valued, seen, and heard? That magnetic energy came from their ability to understand themselves, to be authentic, and to use that self-awareness to form meaningful connections. When you start to become aware of your own energy and how you're projecting yourself into the world, you can consciously shift how others experience you. And it's this understanding of energy dynamics that creates the foundation for everything else in human relationship. When people are drawn to your energy, they begin to take an interest in you. And that's where the next crucial element comes into play, emotional connection. Emotional connection is one of the most powerful psychological triggers you can tap into. When you connect with someone on a deep emotional level, they can't help but obsess over you. It's a fundamental human need, the desire to feel seen, understood, and valued. We all want to feel heard, especially in a world where we often feel overlooked or misunderstood. When you show a genuine interest in others, when you listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart, you create an emotional bond that is almost impossible to break. But what does this really mean in practical terms? It means listening more than you speak. It means being present in the moment, not just physically, but emotionally. It's easy to talk at someone, but the truly magnetic people know how to listen, to validate, and to engage with others in a way that makes them feel important. Imagine someone telling you about their dreams, their fears, or their most vulnerable moments. If you are truly present, if you show empathy and understanding, you create a space for them to feel safe and valued. And when people feel safe and valued around you, they will naturally gravitate towards you. This emotional connection goes beyond just being a good listener. It's about validating emotions. It's about expressing empathy in a way that resonates deeply with others. When someone is sharing their pain or struggles, don't just offer solutions or brush off their emotions with quick advice. Acknowledge their feelings. Sit with them in their pain for a moment. That's when the real bond is formed. The person doesn't just appreciate you, they begin to obsess over the genuine understanding you provide. But let's not confuse this with people-pleasing. There's a difference between empathizing with someone and abandoning your own needs to satisfy theirs. A high-value person listens and empathizes, but they don't lose themselves in the process. They have boundaries. They understand the importance of balance. And it's this balance of emotional availability and self-respect that makes them truly magnetic. The third key trigger to making people obsess over you is the concept of social proof. People tend to follow the actions of others, especially in uncertain situations. This is why social proof can be such a powerful psychological tool. The more people perceive you as successful, admired, and respected by others, the more they want to be a part of your world. Social proof taps into our innate need to belong, to feel part of a group or community that recognizes our value. But social proof isn't just about being liked or admired by others. It's about being in the right circles and letting others see how valuable you are. High-value individuals tend to surround themselves with other high-value individuals. The idea is simple. The more valuable your social circle, the more valuable you appear to others. This creates a ripple effect. Others are seeking your approval. If they are impressed by your presence or your associations, they will naturally want to be a part of your world. However, the real trick is not about flaunting your success or making it obvious. It's about naturally attracting respect and admiration. When you're the kind of person who adds value to others' lives, whether it's through your wisdom, your energy, your intelligence, or your kindness, you start to create a network of people who are invested in your success. They become your social proof, and as they begin to support you, others will take notice. They'll be eager to get to know you, to connect with you, to be around you. You won't have to chase relationships. They will come to you naturally. Imagine being in a room full of successful, accomplished people. When you walk in, your presence is felt, not because of your loud voice or extravagant display, but because you bring a sense of value with you. People gravitate towards you, not because you've asked for attention, but because you embody the qualities they aspire to. You built your social proof by surrounding yourself with excellence, by fostering relationships that are based on mutual respect and value. And because of that, others can't help but notice and be drawn to you. These three psychological triggers, mystery, emotional connection, and social proof, are powerful because they tap into core human instincts and needs. They're not tricks to manipulate others for your benefit. They're principles that can help you build authentic, deep connections with others. And when you understand how to use these tools effectively, you create a magnetic presence that makes people want to be around you, think about you, and connect with you. But here's the most important takeaway. When you combine these elements, you are not just creating a following or attracting attention. You are becoming the kind of person who naturally draws in others because you are secure in who you are. You are authentic, self-aware, and emotionally intelligent. And when people see that in you, they will not just be drawn to you, they will be obsessed with you, not because you are playing games or trying to win them over, but because you've become a person who inspires, who connects, and who leaves a lasting impact on everyone they meet. So the next time you find yourself walking into a room or meeting someone new, remember this: you don't need to chase approval, you don't need to force a connection. Instead, be confident in who you are, let your authenticity shine, and let these psychological triggers work for you. The world will naturally gravitate toward your energy, and before long you will find yourself at the center of powerful relationships, admired by those around you and surrounded by the connections that will help elevate your life to new heights. Go out there and let people obsess over you, not because you've manipulated their emotions, but because your magnetic energy and deep understanding of psychological triggers have led you to become someone unforgettable.